let's talk about creatine. It's got to be one of the most popular supplements out there, right? But when you bring up weight loss, things get, well, they get messy. Does it help you shed fat? Or does it just puff you up with water weight? Today, we're going to cut through all that noise and get to the real story.
So let's just dive right in with the million-dollar question, the one you're probably here for. You're trying to lose weight, you keep hearing about creatine, and you just want to know, is this stuff going to help me or hurt me? And this is where the big paradox of creatine comes in. On one side, you have this really common fear that it's going to make you hold water, feel bloated, and see the number on the scale creep up. But then, on the other side, there's a growing pile of research that hints it could actually help you burn fat in the long run. So, what gives? How can both be true? Okay, let's push aside the gym chatter for a second and look at what the actual scientific studies say. Is there a direct line between taking creatine and losing weight? So, the short answer is, well, there isn't really a short answer. The research is pretty mixed. Science doesn't give us a clear yes or no. It's not like creatine is some magic pill that just melts fat off your body. The connection is way more subtle than that. So if it isn't a magic fat burner, how in the world could it possibly help? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and break down the ways scientists think it might be working behind the scenes. One of the key ideas here is something called thermogenesis. Now, that sounds super sciencey, but all it really means is your body producing heat. And to produce heat, your body has to burn calories. Some studies suggest that creatine might actually ramp up this heat production process, especially in certain types of fat cells. And you can really see how this splits into two different pathways. You've got the direct route, where it might fire up your brown fat cells, which are basically your body's little furnaces, and it might even slow down the production of triglycerides, a fat your body likes to store. But the indirect routes are maybe even more important. By helping you build and maintain muscle, you naturally start burning more calories, even when you're just sitting on the couch.
But you know what? Focusing only on fat loss is kind of missing the bigger picture. Let's look at where creatine really shines, especially when you're cutting calories to lose weight. This is where it gets good.
This right here is probably one of creatine's most proven, most powerful benefits. When you're dieting, or cutting as a lot of athletes call it, your body is looking for energy, and sometimes it starts to eat away at your muscle. Well, creatine acts like a bodyguard for that muscle you've worked so hard to build. So how does it do that? Well, remember that water weight we were a little worried about? It turns out that's actually part of the superpower. By pulling water into your muscle cells, it helps keep them hydrated and protected from breaking down. And trust me, keeping that muscle is absolutely crucial for keeping your metabolism fired up while you're losing fat. And the list just keeps on going. I mean, look at this. It's not just about saving muscle. It's a true performance enhancer. It helps you lift heavier, recover faster, and just handle more intense workouts. Some research even points to it helping with bone density and preventing injuries. It's a seriously well-rounded tool. Okay, so maybe now you're thinking, all right, this sounds pretty good. How do I actually, use it? Let's get practical and walk through how to take it. First things first, you're going to see a ton of different, fancy, expensive types of creatine out there. My advice? Just ignore all of them. The science is incredibly clear on this. Plain old simple creatine monohydrate is the king. It's the most researched, the most effective, and we know it's safe. Now, a lot of people follow a simple two-step plan. The first step is what's called a loading phase. It's totally optional, but taking a higher dose for the first week can help saturate your muscles faster. After that, you just drop down to a smaller daily dose to keep those levels topped off. And for that daily maintenance dose, for most people, 5 grams is the sweet spot. That's it. It's usually just one little scoop. Super easy. And here are a few pro tips to make sure you get it right. Don't stress about when to take it. Before, during, or after your workout, it all works. The most important thing, drink plenty of water. This is key. And if you're using a powder, just mix it and drink it right away. Don't let it sit around. Okay, last but definitely not least, we have to talk about safety. This is probably the most important question of all. Is creatine actually safe for you to take? And here's the good news. For most healthy people, creatine is considered incredibly safe. I mean, it's one of the most studied supplements on the entire planet with a really strong safety record for both short and long-term use. Now, that's not to say it's completely side effect free. Some people might experience some of these mild issues. But honestly, a lot of them can be managed or even avoided just by making sure you're drinking enough water. But,
And this is a huge but. It is absolutely not for everyone. This is really important. If any of these situations apply to you, you should avoid taking creatine. It's just not worth the risk.
And if you only take away one single thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. Always, always talk with a doctor or a registered dietitian before you start taking any new supplement. It's the smartest, safest thing you can do. So that brings us all the way back to the beginning. Is creatine a fat burner? After looking at all this, I think we've been asking the wrong question. It's not really a direct fat burner. It's more of a fitness enabler. It doesn't do the work for you, but it gives your body the tools to work harder, to recover better, and to protect your muscle while you lose fat. And that is what helps you build a stronger, healthier body. And that's the real story.